Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the tangle Vache1 from CZT, Genevieve, Crabe. And I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Now, let's see. I'm going to do my four corners. I probably don't really need to do this in the pencil because I'll end up outlining it. But you know what? What the heck? So this is as if you're working on tangle, you've done your string. This is a section within your Zentangle that you're going to do. And so we'll start off with, well, actually, and like I said, I'm thinking I didn't need to do this in pencil, but I was simulating that this was a string. So what I would kind of do first is, and you don't have to do this part necessarily first, so I'm outlining my section in the pen. And normally we don't do that with our strings or anything. Of course, unless you want to, or if it fits within the pattern, and this one kind of does. And then you can start wherever you want. Starting at a corner is where I'm going to start. And one of those is if you had too much coffee. Draw squiggly line, and so I'm making kind of boxes, like weird boxes, and they don't have to be straight, they don't have to be anything, they can be a little bit odd shaped, they don't have to line up exactly this way. I'm putting a little diagonal in there, going wild. I did have a little too much caffeine earlier, but it's kind of worn off. I should have probably had some more before I did this. Okay, so you have these squiggly lines, and at the time of this taping, it is Thursday. Oh, and then the second step is we're going to aura the interior, the inside of each of these sections. So today, today's Thursday as I'm taping this, or recording it, I should say. And that's when I have my Tangle Time sessions. And so we did one earlier, and we were talking about the it's okay to have these be jiggly. That's what you kind of want. It just kind of free form. And so and I know those that they say, "Well, great, I've got shaky hands anyway, so this is awesome." And it's like, yes, it is. And it's just, it's a nice tangle. It's a neat feeling as you get it finished, you'll see. But it's also nice because you don't have to worry about, we don't have to worry about perfection anyway. But we do but it's like, okay, with that said, yeah, we do. And I'm auraing, but you know what, as you probably notice, I'm not really paying attention to the line that I'm auraing on this one. On some of the other ones, I try to be a little bit careful, but I'm not following it exactly. I'm just kind of making it bumpy as well. You could, if you really wanted to work to aura it and be a little bit neater. But I think it still looks cool. But so while we're not always striving for to have that perfect line, because some of the tangles, it does kind of matter, we'll be honest. But at the same time, it's like, but it doesn't matter because it's not about necessarily the end result. It's how do we feel, as we're doing it, and, have we done the best that we can, and do we like it? And if we don't, then you just keep working on it until you feel like it's done. And if you get to the point where you're like, well, I don't know what else I can do, and I still don't like it, then we have this technique called Transcending. And, well, I don't think I have my tangle handy, maybe by the end of this, but you can go to my website, heather@tangleaddicts.com, and look at the blog posts and find one on Transcending. Actually, I think I did the replay on the class for that. Okay, enough yapping. Next step is you can decorate the inside. So this is essentially it, except for decorating the inside. Now, I'm going to do just the straight lines, but I'm going to do straight lines, and I'm keeping my pen light on the paper, because you could do, let me flip it, so you could do deliberate stroke, so like you know, like this, or I'm doing light, and it's just a little bit of a difference. And then with that, you also don't have to worry about it being, you know, straight either. It just kind of lends itself to being just like the rest of it, just, you know, a little shaky. It's adding some texture is what it's doing to this, to the background of this, and it's just really, really neat. And so so with that, as you'll see on the step out, you could do these straight lines. You could fill in the entire inside section. You could fill it in with orbs. You know, and I'm drawing straight lines, you know, going this direction. You know, I don't know what it would look like if you did, say, you know, alternate the direction. There's a thought. I don't, you know, you could do that. Actually, it's like, well, this one, you know, I have these going because I'm drawing them vertical, but, you know, if I was doing it this way, then it would just be horizontal if I just turn the tile. That part's not going to matter. I mean, maybe you could do them diagonal or something if you wanted to. That's kind of up to your imagination. And of course, you know, we have the, you know, if like I'm working on a white Zentangle bijou tile, we have all of the colors that we have available. And, I mean, but then there's, you know, all the other colors of paper on the planet that you could use, and using different ink color. I mean, see, again, you can have as much fun with this as you have with any of the other ones. But, and I don't know if I finished what I was saying earlier about that. This is a really nice tangle that you can just lose yourself in, because you don't have to think about, really, there's not, I mean, there's not really a lot of steps. And the steps are kind of freeform, but not so, I mean, for me, not so freeform that I feel uncomfortable with it, because I do have a challenge personally with too much freeform. It's, you know, that I take a deep breath and find a way to do it. And that's my growth point in my own therapy, I guess you could say, with Zentangle, is working on that part of just being more spontaneously creative. And a lot of that is called just not worrying about it and just doing it and being happy with it and not overthinking it. So this is just a neat one. And then you know, if you pick one, you know, decoration to do, then too, you can just lose yourself in, you know, drawing these little lines. And it's kind of neat drawing them with a light hand, because usually I have this death grip and, you know, and just kind of heavy-handed. And so working through that, I mean, I'm holding it like this really tight, but I'm kind of tickling the paper, is what it feels like. It's just letting it bounce over the little grooves that are, you know, I mean, there's a little bit of texture to this. But anyway, so that is it. Then you can decide how you might want to shade it. Here's, oops, I don't want to, I like to save my little Zentangle. That I think that came from a kit. I don't want to lose it. I want to make sure I have a kit that's missing one pencil. And so I'm just putting a little bit of graphite. Oh, see, I don't think I'll put it at this top row. Just at the top here, just to see what that looks like. I mean, actually, I don't think she had shading on hers. But this, you know, so I can do it this way. I could also put, you know, put a row, well, you know, yeah, a line of it at the bottom if I wanted to. Sometimes it's neat just to do this one edge, and it looks like it gives it this, like, ooh, yeah, interesting depth. But I could do it on, well, let's just see. All right, this is, well, it's not too bad on time. Let's just see. And I hope that you're enjoying the let's just see what happens. Because I know I do. And then, too, you could have been wondering, and now you don't have to try it and, you know, and risk. I'll take the hit. That's all right. I'll take the risk. But, you know, like this, these are small sections, And you have to be careful to ensure that you have some of that original tile color or paper color in there, so that way you get the result of and the effect of the shading. Let's just see. Ooh, see, that looks kind of neat. It really does. So, like I said, there's tons of ways that you could shade it, or you don't have to shade this one at all. It kind of has a really neat texture. It's like texture within a texture. The whole tangle itself is a texture that you could add to something, but then, you know, in each little section is a texture. So it's a super neat tangle, and again, you know, your decision on how you want to decorate them. And yeah, it's just really, really fun. And I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give a thumbs up. Those are much appreciated, as well as subscriptions if you did like it enough and you want to see more. And if you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell next to the subscription button, so that way you can decide how you want to be notified of the subscription, if at all. I know I don't necessarily like things to pop up on my phone. Or, you know, or I don't like to get emails. I generally check back when I want to, and then you go to your subscriptions in YouTube, and and then it usually is like kind of like up at the top when you look at your subscription list. So however you want to, if you weren't aware of that, I wanted to make you aware of that. So in the description again is a link to my step out, as well as ways to connect if you wish. And with that, I wish you happy tangling. Have fun.